Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. My name is Nathan and I am the host of this podcast, Mental Roots. So a bit about myself without taking too much time. I'm British Ghanaian, British born, Ghanaian blood in me. Born in South London, grew up in Essex and now living in Derby. And so I've been exposed to multiple ethnicities and cultures. And I'm a huge believer and advocate for creating safe spaces for conversation, uncomfortable conversation. And when I look at society, growing up as a young black guy, that comes up with its own fair share of struggles in terms of always struggling to know how to integrate with the society around you, a society that doesn't reflect your culture at the heart of it. You are the minority. You're constantly having to watch what you say and be intentional about how you present yourself, because the society you live in, for various socio-historical reasons, presents you in a way that isn't accurate to the entirety of who you are. And so if you're a young black guy watching this, you already know what I'm talking about. I ain't even got to talk too much. Like, the podcast speaks for itself. It's a safe space where we as young black guys can just be honest about the stuff that makes us shook, the stuff that keeps us up at night, our fears, our dreams, our hopes, our ambitions, our weaknesses. And because we don't have enough of this in society, for various reasons, whether you grew up in an African or Caribbean kind of household, at least compared to dominant Western society, for various reasons, we find it harder to open up about our mental health and the struggles that we cope with, the various things we tell ourselves, like we just got to keep it moving, or this is just the way life is, whether it's poverty mindset, whether it's the desensitization to the stabbings that are happening in our areas. And of course, this is not a generalization of black culture. We all, as black men, just as black men in Britain, we all have a wide range of experiences. We don't all think the same. We don't all grow up in the same areas. We don't all have the same beliefs. And that's what this podcast celebrates, is that there's such variety in what it means to be a black man. And we need to talk about that and talk about practically what are the different things we can do to help our mental health. And as well as addressing culture, as well as addressing what education is being done in schools, and what youth clubs can do, what churches can do, what we can do in our own households to help us progress as black people, and specifically as young millennial black men and teenage boys as well. So that's what this podcast is about, and we delve into a whole range of subtopics that influence our mental health. In this regard, I speak with so many friends of mine, many of whom at the time of me recording this trailer I haven't met in person because of COVID. So a lot of these relationships I've garnered over the past year and a bit have been online, and a lot of them are like-minded Christians like I am. Some of them are not Christians, some of them are activists, some of them are artists like I am, and yeah, that's what this is about. So please interact whatever platform you're listening to this podcast on, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. If you have the ability to leave a review or leave a comment, please do so. In every episode, I'm mentioning where you can find me on socials and where you can find my guests on socials. So connect with me. This podcast is for you, especially if you're a young black guy. I want you to interact with me. Tell me what I'm doing right. Do I represent your struggles? Does this podcast represent your experience, your cultural, ethnic experience, and the mental health struggles that you've had? If not, let me know. This is your podcast, man. And let's help each other grow as young black guys. Let's create the future that we want to see for ourselves and for our children and the generations coming after us, man. Let's think legacy, man. We need to show each other more love as young black men and build each other up in a healthy way. So that's what this is all about. I'm Nathan Aday. This is Mental Roots. Let's go.